Hello everyone, welcome back to our session. This is turn 1, Soviet Impulse 3. We have already concluded our movement and now it's time to check for attacks. These are the active units and the only German unit they're adjacent to is this infantry unit placed in Izium. So we check the units in ascending order, so lowest selector to highest, but it's just one hex, so we'll check it just to be precise. This is the first unit we will check, and so we'll add the combat strength. Oh, this is the lead unit, and every other active units. These are the active units. No reserve units present. No auxiliary card saying assault coordination. So let's say this is 5 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3. That's 17, and it's 17 versus it's 3, and it's not an improved position. Not adjacent to supplied units, not cross river, everyone, not dispersed, so nothing of the situational strength modifiers apply. So it's 17 to 3, just shy of 6 to 1, but it's a 5 to 1. But 5 to 1 is quite enough. If it's equal or greater to 3 to 1, then the attack will be conducted. So it's going to be an attack, and the first thing we do when we're doing a Soviet combat sequence, we check to see if we can add active Soviet reserve units. There are no active reserve units. No reserve units of Popov Mobile Group Popov present, in fact, right now. So the next step is to draw a card and apply the combat tactics. Let me remind you that this unit is still inside the Soviet artillery barrage line, so there is already one tactic applied. It's turns 1, turn 2. And that's artillery. So they've got artillery, which means this tactic and plus 1 chit draw, and we get to draw another card. And the combat, this is the card, and the combat tactic is partisans. And this card, and this card has the reuse ability. So what this means is that we apply the combat tactic to the card, and then instead of just discarding the card, it goes back to the Soviet draw pile, and the pile gets reshuffled. So it can it will be drawn again later. So this is partisans, and let's see what partisans mean. If during an attack, if attacking a city hex, no, it's a town, not a city. Okay, so city hex, if attacking a goods or town hex, increase German hits by 1 outs. You can't play the reinforced battle to German. The first does not apply in a hex other than city, town, or goods. Okay, it's town, so this one applies. So so the Soviets got partisans plus artillery, so it's hits by 1. We have to increase the hits we'll get by 1, and so there's also artillery. And let's see how many hits we'll be drawing. These two units are 3-step units, so it's 2 for each one of them, so it's 4 plus 1 for the 2-step, for each of the 2-step units, that's 6, +1 for its combat tactic for a total of 8. And of course the minimum is 2. Now, before of course drawing any chits, we have to decide if we're going to play a combat tactic for our unit in order to help our unit a little bit. It's 8 chit draws. This unit has done its best. I mean, it has already done so much, and I'm not sure. Okay, in order to eliminate this unit, it would have to get we got +1. They get +1 hit. It's in town, so town will get 1 hit. +2 hits we can absorb by retreating. That's 3, and they've got 5 hits. We have to suffer 5 hits in order for us to eliminate the unit, and this but with 5 hits, if they manage to get 5 hits, they've already got 1 hit. They will be able to eliminate the unit even if with 3 hits we'll have to retreat and get dispersed. And the reason I'm thinking about it a bit in the previous impulses, I haven't played a combat tactic for us because it was not worth the benefit. But now I've got this card and I'm currently thinking of using it. It's turns 1 to 5 pull out, and it's only for defense, which is the situation here. And what does pull out do? It allows you to retreat the unit. That's the relevant rule. It's only for defense. I can retreat the defending unit 2 hexes, of course according to retreat rules, and then the combat is resolved. I don't have to that's the benefit. I don't have to disperse the unit. It doesn't sustain any hits. Of course, the Soviets can and will advance, of course, and but it's as if a battle has happened, but it has without happening. And now I try to think if this would be in my best interest to do. I mean, if it would be beneficial to us to fix this a little bit. So let's see what my options would be here. I mean, I could retreat it here and here, and this goods hex, as I've said, the goods are more defensible. Outside, of course, the barrage artillery line, and I could, of course, go here. It's not in a zone of control. These are in zone of control, so I can't go here, and I could go here and then here, so as to keep the line intact, control this hex so they can't easily go around our corner, our lines. And the added benefit, it would put them, the attackers, across the Donetsk River, so the attack would be trickier for them to attack this unit here. But of course they can kind of circumvent this. Of course, this means for fighting 1 victory point, but as I've said, I don't think it's very wise during the first turn facing the Soviet attack, the Soviet onslaught, to fight over every VP hex. We have to, take some controlled losses, manage the amount of steps we lose, and I tend to think that it would be preferable to keep my unit to fight another day than just trying to defend I assume for another turn. I mean, there are already almost 6 to 1, 8 chits. We were lucky the first time, but I think we can't always count on, you know, just being lucky. I mean, even with 3 hits, we would be forced to, in order to keep our unit intact, we would be forced to, you know, evacuate the city to retreat, and on top of that, we would be dispersed. I mean, with 2 hits, it would be okay. 1 hex retreat, still we would lose the city, or we could just stay there, and then there's no guarantee. And next activation, it's not going to be much worse attack. So I'm just inclined to, you know, use my card and pull out, and okay, 1 up. I don't think I like this option very much. I would prefer this one. Keeps the whole corpse, you know, closer. Maybe we can use this unit to make a stronger stack, more difficult to defend, closer to our supply lines. Much of space that even the Soviets can't cover the space. The downside, if we go here, is that I will create another gap. I mean, there will be this gap right here, so this road will not be defended. I mean, we can't reach here in just 1 impulse, hopefully, and maybe then I would retreat here and then here, and still keep this line intact. They've got them across, but then they would, okay, this unit would then control, it's outside, yeah, this line would be intact, and a zone of control here, a zone of control here. Yeah, that's interesting. It's a little, it doesn't, you know, ties very well with my plan to, you know, consolidate the 3rd corps a little bit, but I mean, it's the 3rd corps card I'll be using, so no, so let me revise my plan a little bit. Now I could retreat there, not in enemy control, but let me see about retreat restrictions, because I think there is a restriction against retreating. Okay, German. If there's a retreat is allowed across and bridge Dnieper River hex side. Okay, this is Donetsk, this is not Dnieper, so the restriction does not apply. If there's still more than 1 choice, I choose, okay, so I could get the unit here, keep my line, and then, as I've said, somewhere around down there, somewhere around down there, these units will move here, but okay, somewhere around here, I'm hoping in my next impulse to deploy the 2nd SS corps. So I mean, it would be you know, it would plug the line, and then this unit, the other units of the 3rd corps could position themselves better, and always, I've said, counting on the 40th corps to help us out, and maybe because they're very nicely up to now, they're very nicely positioned here, and they kind of control Kramatorsk, and there is still a threat to Slavyansk. I mean, the Soviets cannot just advance and leave Slavyansk, the road to Slavyansk open to the 40th Corps, and so yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I play me fix this. Okay. I play this card for pull out defense only, and what happens according to the rules? It's prior to combat resolution. I retreat the defending stack. It's only one unit. 2 hexes. I don't place dispersed markers. I have to end in German supply. Okay, no problem there. And when the attack is considered resolved, the attackers advance and the cards are discarded, or whatever happens. So that's what I'm going to do. So this one, there goes 1, there goes 2, and yeah, this unit has just escaped an uncertain fate. So now this one goes to our primary discards. I'll deal with this one later. And now let's go to Societ Advance. And ascending order again. The first unit we check is ascending order is this one, selector number 4, and it's an auto advance because it's a VP hex. No units are inside this hex, so it automatically advance. And let me put a Soviet control market in Izium. Okay, here, and you can see it's off my viewing of my camera, but I increase Soviet VPs by 1, and they've got 5 victory points. Okay, and it's going to get worse. Just wait and see. Well, now ascending order, then it's this number 5 again into VP hex. That's the first priority. There's already 1 unit in this VP hex, so we roll a die. 1 to 6, it advances. Any other result, no. So it's a 2, so this one also will advance. And oh, sorry, forgot to check for second hex. Okay, that was my bad. This is mechanized. I will check it again for, and for the okay, second hex, let me see, primary direction. Okay, it would prefer to advance here, as I've said. Yeah, quite expectably, it's primary direction. No unit there, so it will advance here. Yeah, things are not looking great, are they? Yeah. Yeah, it could also see this advance. It could also break our control because paint. Okay, we'll see. I will deal with that later. And okay, next one, as I've said, this is infantry unit. It will of course advance here. It's not advance, but it will not advance a second hex. So next one, it's number 8, infantry unit. Okay, it's VP hex. There is already 1 unit here, so let me roll. Yeah, it's 1 to 6 chance, and it's a 6, and yes, it advances here. And now that's the tricky part. Will this unit advance? I mean, if it advances 1 hex and stops there, it will be in violation of the stacking limits, of course. And let me see. No. And I can't think I find something. Let me check if there's something else about it. Okay, it says that during movement, I will say that you can go through a stack that's full, that's 6 steps, you can't get more, but you can't stop there. I mean, the Soviets can go there if it's obvious that the unit these units will leave, but none of these units leave. So I mean, if a second, let me see how what will happen if we don't get a second hex advance. I mean, if it just goes there and then goes there or there or there, no problem. But if it doesn't, let me see. No, it will happen. Okay, let's see first. No, sorry, my bad. I should have checked the advanced table closely, because it says route of advance. The first hex must be the attacked hex, this one, and it says that it's a VP hex and a number of Soviet units already hex 2. No, it has a clear no, so it will not advance even this one hex. So problem kind of solved. I mean, what I have done is, you know, I have managed to keep my line quite intact and here, but this unit is and this unit alone, that's the good of it, is able to, you know, just get out of our control lines and, you know, roam freely behind our lines, you know, wreaking havoc, surrounding our units, going towards victory points, objectives. But this is something we'll have to deal with later. And okay, it was bound to happen sometime. I mean, if this unit was eliminated, the situation would be the same, or even worse. We would have one less unit, one more, a bigger gap, a real gap to, you know, worry about. So all in all, I'm quite happy with how things have turned out. In retrospect, maybe I should have moved it here, but then, yeah, no, then it would be very easy for them to, no, I think I did the right thing. Okay, now let's deal with the other card here. As I've said, this card has to be discarded, and that's what the tactic, the pull-out tactic says. But this card is not discarded if drawn during or applied to combat. No reuse back in. Well, maybe one could argue, and I'd love it to be the case, so the Soviets don't get it back, because pull-out says that to discard all Soviet cards containing combat tactics applied to this combat. I think, though, that the text on the card supersedes what's written. play rate, because this is the play rate dimensions are more general situation, and this card has more specific instructions, and usually in card-driven games, if there's a more specific instruction on the card, we tend to follow this instruction. Okay, if I'm mistaken, I will be glad to hear about it and correct me. So I'm taking this card. Again, there, a lot of reshuffling happening on the Soviet pile, and yes, that's the game. So the battle is over, and now every active unit has either has moved, everyone has attacked, so there's nothing else that could be done with these units. So we don't have any units that were dispersed, any active units dispersed that could be dispersed markets. No IP check, it wouldn't matter. They have done what they have. So this Soviet impulse is now over. So we discard the South front card that activated these units. Let's reset them, and now it's going to be our turn. Our next impulse is on. So but this is going to be in another part of these videos. As I've said, I'm trying to keep them short, around half an hour. It's in order to be more manageable. So that's all for now. See you in the next episode.